Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, business owners. It's Leon Street here again, just taking a quick sip of some water just to get the vocal cords ready to deliver another great Sunday morning wake up for you business owners. And today's topic, I'm really interested and excited in, and you guys should be too. And the reason why I say that is it's a topic that most business owners who are going through this, and there's a lot of business owners, they don't see this happening to themselves, and it's almost like a blind spot. And what I hope to unlock and uncover for everybody who watches this and tunes in, whether you're listening back on the podcast, whether you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube, or you're watching YouTube, this is going to help you. And the topic I'm covering is why your self-worth is destroying your sales. And for business owners, there's a lot of business owners out there, especially in, current climate. It's 2021 as I record this, and we're still in the grips of social lockdown and all the other things that are happening, because of the pandemic. But what I want to touch on is something that adds, I guess, even more pain to the business owner that they're usually blind to. And so I'm going to break down some things that you can understand about self-worth and actually how it affects your business, understand what it is, and then actually steps you can use to improve your self-worth and your approach to your own self-worth so you can actually grow your business. And when it comes to sales is an important, like, super duper arm or part of your business. And if you're not selling, your business isn't growing. And if you're not selling well, it becomes a pain in the ass. And when you're not really making good money, it's stressful. And that stress can turn into depression, anxiety, sadness, and various other things. And so for me, by looking at self-worth, all I want to do is be able to kind of just, lift up the rug so you can actually see what this is all about, so you can use it to your advantage. And especially if you've never really considered, what it means to improve your self-worth, or I guess in many respects, like how your self-worth has already affected your business or life up until now. And that's what I hope to get across for you. So as always, guys, I invite you to make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to get straight to the channel and subscribe, just go to www.leonstreet.com/YouTube. Just go there, click on the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified of all upcoming videos and all the content that I put out. And let's get into this. Let's start with a nice quote. So this is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So this is all about being you. Yeah. And for me, self-worth is about accepting who you are, knowing your worth and what you bring. So let's get into this. That kicks us off. How can self-worth really affect my sales in business? You're probably thinking, you're like, that's probably bullshit. Like, my self-worth has nothing to do with how much I sell or, the growth of my business. And what I can say is, especially if you do sales calls, you may call them discovery calls, strategy calls, that kind of stuff, or if you set the prices of your products or services and your self-worth has been let me think of the words I want to use here. It's been something that has been something that's not obvious to you, and it's almost like a hidden part of you that has affected your decision making and how you price your services. Yeah, to put it simply, it's a blind spot. And a lot of business owners, they don't recognize that this plays a part in them. And I'm going to share a couple of stories as well from clients who they didn't know that they actually had problems around low self-worth. And it was only at the point where I explained to the clients that actually the problem isn't with the business or the prices or their ability to sell. It's a problem with their self-worth. And that's what I want to get across for everybody watching. So self-worth can really screw up your opportunities in business to make good money, to, sell the services, the products that you have at the right price and demonstrate the right amount of value. And that's why, for me, self-worth affects sales. And, look, I'm going to share this part with you. I'm a hardened kind of masculine guy. I want to go out there and want to make things happen. And early in my career, I remember kind of feeling like, how the hell could self-worth have any effect on me? But it's only as I matured in business and understood that actually the effects that it does have and the things that are unconscious to you. And this is really important because there's a lot of things as a human being that we run as programs that are unconscious to us and we don't see, and we think we see everything, or we think we know everything, or we think we know enough. And actually there's so much more that we don't see. And so all I'm doing is shining a light on this for you guys. So let's get into it. So what are the characteristics of low self-worth? The person can be extremely critical of themselves. So you may find that's you. You may resonate with these, some of these, one of these, none of these. You know, I'm doing this so you understand what self-worth or how self-worth may show up in your life. First of all, you may downplay or ignore positive qualities, yeah, that you have. Yeah, you may say, oh, you know, I'm nothing special. I just, you know, do what I do, blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, yeah, that's just normal. Everybody can do that. But actually, it's probably something that is a real great quality about you. Maybe, you know, you've experienced where you've judged yourself to be inferior to your peers. I've done this one many times, especially when I've gone into new coaching programs over the years or masterminds, and I feel like, wow, like, you know, these guys are doing amazing, you know, probably like 8-figure business owners and whatever else. And you're like, little old me. And so for me, this one is a common characteristic that I've seen in other people as well, and when they've explained their position and what they think of the world. If any of these resonate, just give me a yes in the comments below this video as you're watching. Number 4, perhaps a characteristic you see or you may see in other people, that they use negative words to describe themselves, such as, you know, stupid, fat, ugly, unlovable, or I'm just lucky. You know, stuff that it really doesn't praise them or shine a positive light on them. They have questioned themselves that with self, always negative, critical, or blameless. You know, and that's so me was bad, blah blah. Honestly, for me, I used to play sports a lot. I really if you make a mistake, I don't know, the book, your shot, or whatever was wrong, do I to myself, like, yeah, fucking that. And you know, I'd really think about, like, the time done wrong, and that kind of skin me a few weeks, and I'm not in the time, I'm in the past, I'm about, like, to realize I was doing it a lot. It was something become aware, because this person always to improve. Spot. So I do apologize if this connection has gone down, guys. What I'm going to do is see if I can get connected to my hotspot, and let's see if that improves. Right, let's see. Okay, so okay, right. So we're trying again, guys. I do apologize. I'm still in Poland, believe it or not. So we've been here, what, 3 weeks? But I've had some challenges with the internet, with the location that I'm at for some reason. I'm not sure why. And every time we stream, seems to have some issues. It must be something to do with the upload rate or whatever it is. But hopefully you guys are picking this up. I'm going to get back to the point that I was talking about. So characteristics of low self-worth. What I was saying was, you know, we've probably all been there where we've had some kind of critical or just being critical, and we've blamed ourselves. And so for me, this is another characteristic of low self-worth. And so these are important because you start to spot it, and not everybody spots it. And I want to reference the website betterhealth.gov.au from Australia. I picked up these characteristics, and I thought it'd be good just to share. And I'm going to share one specific one about business owners, specifically to sales, in a moment. Perhaps the characteristic is assumes that luck plays a large role in their achievements and doesn't take credit for them. That's a big one. Another one is they blame themselves when things go wrong instead of taking into account other things, the environment, outside perspective, over which they have no control. And the other characteristic of low self-worth is they don't believe a person when they get a compliment. So here's another characteristic of low self-worth, and this is one that I spot all the time: a business owner who charges in per hours, so they have hourly rates, or they have low rates, and they kind of pride themselves and pat themselves on the back for being cheap, or for being, you know, very cheap in the market compared to their competitors, or they're pricing themselves based on, you know, low prices. And actually what happens is they have or they make it very difficult to gain profit, to take home a good profit, to make money. And these are all characteristics that I see regularly, and especially around, you know, charging per hour, especially coaches, consultants, and so on, who charge per hour, who charge per session. Then you know, other types of examples where people charge per session, or they say, oh, I offer an introductory rate, and actually that introductory rate is the rate that they keep on charging for more sessions after that. So these are the characteristics that I see. I also see business owners that not only do they charge low, but they find it difficult to actually sell something of high value, even when it's worth whatever the price is as a high value item. You know, they just can't seem to close deals at that high value. It's because they don't believe in themselves. So these are characteristics that I see. And so hopefully, you know, what I can do is just shed some light on this for you. So let's jump into my main man, T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. If you've not read his book or listen to the audio book, I do recommend you listen to it. This will help you around, you know, your money, self-worth, and improving that. Successful people have fear. Successful people have doubts. And successful people have worries. They just don't let these feelings stop them. And that's an important step, guys. You know, self-worth, and knowing that you have the ability to keep going and make things happen and change things. You know, when it stops you, that's called anxiety and depression. And you don't want to be there. You don't want to be in this place where, you know, low self-worth takes a grip. And for me, T. Harv Eker is, you know, this quote just fits it perfectly so that you can move forward. So what causes low self-worth? Unhappy childhood where parents or other significant people such as teachers were extremely critical. Poor academic performance in school resulting in lack of confidence. So confidence is a big one. Ongoing stressful life events such as relationship breakdown or financial trouble. Poor treatment from a partner, parent, or carer, for example, being in an abusive relationship, or, you know, abusive doesn't have to be physical. It could be, you know, abusive, I guess, language and the way you're being spoken to. Other examples of low self-worth: ongoing medical problems such as chronic pain, serious illness, and physical disability. Obviously, these things have, you know, a big effect on all of us. Mental illness such as anxiety disorder or depression. Depression, I've been through there. I remember my first business when that failed, and that was a tough time, a tough thing to deal with. You know, it was something I'd set up, and it run successfully for about, I don't know, about 5 years or so. And so when it finally failed, and then there was debts and all these other things around it, you know, it had a big toll on me. I really felt depressed. I didn't feel like, you know, expanded. I felt contracted. And I might be laughing now, but at the time, you know, it was really wreaking havoc with my emotions and so on. And, you know, I guess coming out the other side, and I'm going to touch on some of the things that you can use to improve and increase your self-worth. What I figured out is that it was just temporary. You know, the worst that can happen to somebody is that they die, right? And I hadn't died. And when I realized, and I come out the other side after probably 3 or 4 years of being depressed, not really realizing I was depressed, again, unconsciously it was happening to me. I wasn't seeing it. It was a blind spot. Is that I just, you know, I realized actually I can change where I am. I can change what I do. I've just got to be willing to keep going for what it is that I want. So how can we increase our self-worth? What things can you do? And as I said, guys, you know, if any of this resonates with you, just drop me a comment below the video. And if there are any things or any tips that you use to increase your self-worth, or you've experienced low self-worth, you know, just share your thoughts as well in the comment below the video. I welcome you. So here's how you can increase your self-worth. Talk to yourself positively. Yeah. And as I go through these, guys, I'm going to come to my conclusion about how this affects your sales. So I don't want you to think, oh, Leon's just going through a lesson of psychology and is talking all this kind of woo-woo stuff. I'm talking how you can put pounds, dollars, and euros in your bank account, like really, take it to 6, 7 figures and beyond. Stuff that I've coached clients on, that I've achieved myself as well. And I just want to kind of just put this in as a kind of a notice that this isn't some woo-woo BS. This is, if you really want to change your results in your business, and especially sell more, sell higher value stuff, and just put cash in the bank, knowing that your bills are covered, your family's covered, you ain't stressed out about money. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So I just wanted to share that, guys, just so you don't take this live the wrong way, and you take it the way that it's intended to change the results in your business. So increase your self-worth, talk positively to yourself, think about how you naturally praise yourself. Yeah, and if you find that you're quite negative, that's a sign that you need to change, right? Challenge negative self-talk, which is where that leads on. So if you find yourself saying, oh, that's really poor, Leon, or that's really crap, Leon, or you're not good at sales, Leon, or you lost another sale, you didn't close a sale, or you couldn't convert that person from being a lead on a social media chat to somebody who wanted to jump on a call with you, it's challenging that. It can even be things in your life that affect you in your business. So for instance, you could be saying, you're not really a good father, Leon, or you're not really a good partner, Leon, to your fiance, or you're not really a good son, or a good grandson, or a good brother, whatever it is. Yeah, all of these negative self-talk things, even if they show up in your personal life, I guarantee you they affect you in your business life, because there is one common denominator, you. It's not like you can just compartmentalize, different aspects of your psyche and just keep them boxed off. At some point, they come out, yeah. And you probably heard of like split personalities and so on. These characteristics, these traits of our unconscious and subconscious self actually come out, and they affect us when we don't want them to actually affect us the most. They come out when we least expect it, or we need to be, performing at our best. And that's where our unconscious misbehaviors and bad habits come out to play. So the more you challenge your own negative self-talk, the better you do, the better your business becomes. So don't compare yourself to others. When you compare yourself to others, it's, what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy. And so just don't compare yourself to others. There's no need. Look into what got the person to where they are. Look at their story. Look at their challenges. Look at their successes. And then you'll start to understand what you can do. Yeah, rather than just comparing yourself. And I read this quote the other day, stop comparing your chapter 4 in your life to somebody's chapter 12. Yeah, your life is your life, and that's it. The way you were raised, the experiences, the different things you've had in your life are unique to you. So that's why you can't be the other person, but you can be you, and you can grow to whatever level you're willing to go to. Another way, step 4, to increase your self-worth, acknowledge the positive aspects of you. I said earlier, number 1, talk positively to yourself, but acknowledge the good things about you. Share them with other people, ask other people what's positive about you, appreciate your special qualities. I always talk to people in business, especially coaches, life coaches, consultants, the people that I coach. I talk about, what's your superpower? What's the key thing that when you bring it to your audience, that's the thing that they will pay handsomely for. That's the thing that they want you for. Like, we've all got these special qualities, but quite often, a lot of us, we don't praise ourselves or just, as it says, appreciate them. Forget the past. What does that mean? It means don't live in the past. Yes, you can remember what happened. You can learn from your mistakes, but don't stay there. I've seen, personally in my life, people who have gone through relationship problems. And from that relationship, they've turned to different substance abuse like alcohol and drugs. And it's ended up being not something that just happened temporarily. It's something that happened for years to these people. And I'm talking about people who I've known in my life, friends, family, and so on. And they weren't able to shrug the shackles or get rid of the shackles of the past. Yeah. And so it affected their life going forward. And as I said to you earlier, if you can't, change the negative things that's going on around you, and you can't, or you don't give yourself the opportunity to, stop comparison, praise yourself, accept positivity. These things air their heads. They come out to play in business. They come out to play in the way that you try and sell to somebody on the phone, the way you try and close your next client into a coaching program or a service or a consulting package that you've put together. They come out to play, and they come out to play because you'll probably say the wrong thing. You'll say words that sound right to you, but actually it's the thing that has, you know, just kind of just destroyed the sale, because to that person, you probably shared something that to you is unconsciously negative. It comes out and people are like, I'm not sure if I want to work with that person. And so this is why it's important to forget the past, in the sense of don't dwell there. So not necessarily forget it, but don't dwell in the past. Your life is now, it's happening now. You can't change yesterday or a minute ago, right? Tell yourself a positive message every day. This is like affirmations. Why do you do that? According to science, the brain, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of those are negative. If you tell yourself a positive message every day, at least you're counteracting the 80% of how your brain is wired to be negative. Stop worrying. Yeah, worrying is about future events that are yet to pass. Yeah, so it's kind of like fear, false evidence appearing real. Worrying, it creates stress in your body for no reason other than the fact that you're thinking about something that has not yet happened. And don't get me wrong, this isn't like, this is easy, just follow these steps and your life will just be amazing, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm sharing this because actually, when I come to it, it's about using these steps that I'm sharing with you regularly, consistently, and that's what helps you, because you can't just stop worrying. The more you understand how to catch yourself, the better. And I'll give you a quick example, and this is a personal example, guys. So I remember a few years back, I opened up my emails on my phone, and I saw all these emails coming through from Stripe. It was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And when I was looking at it, they were all refund requests. And these were refund requests from a client that had actually helped, and, you know, we'd done some really great work together. And when I looked, it was like £14,000 worth of refunds. And at the time, I'd spent on some other things, so I invested in some other things. So the £14,000 that was being pulled from my Stripe account, I actually needed at that moment in time. And I remember seeing the emails, yeah. I remember my body feeling tense and like kind of shaky, and not visibly shaky, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, you just feel it inside, like, whoa, like shit. And at the time, the most obvious thing that came to me was, Leon, why are you reacting like this? Yeah. And it is, you know, sometimes these things are not obvious to us. Sometimes we don't spot ourselves in the moment of worry or in the moment of, you know, extreme challenge. Yeah, we can't see outside of ourselves. But in that moment, I don't know why, I just remember thinking, like, why are you reacting like this? Like, why are you feeling like this, Leon? Don't get me wrong, like £14,000 worth of, you know, refund requests is not a good thing. But the way I was feeling, I was like, this isn't you, Leon. And so then what I realized is that I was worrying and I was causing stress, tension in my body. And then in that moment, I realized, like, just calm down, Leon. And so what I did, I checked through the refund request, and there was no reason, because in Stripe, the person must give a reason. And I thought, what's going on here? It was strange. And what I found out was that client was going through some financial difficulties that they hadn't revealed to me. And what they did was they used their own ways to tackle that, which was just to pull all the money back that they could from anywhere that they'd spent on credit cards, which obviously to me, I delivered a great service. The service was under contract. I had so much evidence of work that me and my team had done for the client. And so fortunately, in the end, after 3 months, no, sorry, I think it was 3 to 5 months, sorry. Yeah, it was about 5 months, 5 months. The refund request was pulled back in my favor. So actually I pulled the money back. But at the time, I just remember feeling this sense of worry. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but what I'm sharing here, guys, is that all of these steps on how to increase your self-worth is about your awareness to it. Yeah. And as I said, I'm going to come to how you can improve this with sales in a moment. So let me just zoom in a little bit just so you can see what's going on. So step 9, have fun. Yeah. You know, especially in business, like, don't get me wrong, you know, business is about making money, and having the reward and so on, but you got to have fun with it. Like if your business isn't fun and you're not having fun, like you're in the wrong business. And for me, like I go to sleep and I wake up thinking about business, my business, what I do, my vision, right? And I also think about, the great times I have coaching my clients. Like I have such a good time coaching my clients. We have jokes, we have laughs, we have the serious parts, we have the real open, raw and honest parts as well. And this is the part that I'm going to come to in a moment that, will cap and finish this. The other one to increase your self-worth exercise right now. I can see my fiance and my youngest daughter, she's 1 year old, they're outside playing in the snow right here in Poland. They're having fun, yeah, and they're exercising. Be assertive. This one for me, I don't know about you, but this one for me was a big one. I'm going to share again, personal story. Early when I was running my business, and this is my first business. I remember doing work, yeah, and I would invoice for the work, and you get some clients who don't pay on time, yeah, they don't pay on time, and when they don't pay on time, that cash is sat in their bank and not yours, but you've delivered the service. And I remember, and this came as a result of me having a coach at the time. I was 28, and this was in 2008. I remember I was starting to come up with cash gaps, but I was plugging the cash gaps with like credit cards or overdraft at the time. And I had about £9,000 worth of cash that was owed to me. It was uninvoiced, but unpaid. And what I found out, and it might seem silly to you, but I want to share how self-worth can really mess you up in business. But I felt like I shouldn't have to phone my clients to ask and be assertive, to ask for my money, the money I deliver services for that they hadn't paid. And I'll tell you where it came from. So when I was working with my coach said, did you ever have any issues when you were younger as a child where you were told not to ask or you couldn't speak up? And I was like, oh shit, yeah. Because the way that I was raised, yeah, it was a very traditional kind of upbringing, very good upbringing, but very traditional in kind of thoughts around money and so on, was don't ask, wait until you're given. And this is why I say self-worth is such a big thing and it affects your business so much. So what I was doing was I was doing the work, and then I had some clients who just didn't pay on time, and it was a bit strange to me because I was thinking, well, everybody else pays, but the clients who weren't paying, I wasn't then following up and saying, hey, can you pay? Like literally speaking to them on the phone and just being assertive, because I was running off a program, I was running off lessons and how to live from my young upbringing, which was causing me not to actually pick up the phone and say to people, can you pay my money, please? We've delivered what we've delivered. You're happy. Can you just pay what I need? And this was affecting me in business, and I had no idea. And so my coach raised it to me. And anyway, not the next day, but in that day in the afternoon, I remember picking up the phone and starting to phone people and ask for money. And I remember, and this was such a crazy thing for me, this was like the light bulb moment. I remember phoning 2 clients, and they're like, yeah, sure, just give me like 10 minutes, I'll get that paid for you, Leon. We just missed the invoice. And whether they missed it or not, the money was in my account that day. And so this is another lesson in why taking these steps and even using assertiveness, because I used to think assertiveness meant being a bit aggressive or being a bit dominant, and it doesn't. It just means asserting what is yours or what you should rightfully put out there. And for me, this was a game changer in business, because I see, especially with clients, so many people who undercharge or who don't ask for the sale, especially when it comes to sales, because they feel like they're being dominant. Yeah. And all it is just actually being assertive. Doesn't mean you're being aggressive. It just means, look, I'm going to ask, so do you want to jump on board? Yes or no? Whereas other people, they'll probably just shy away from the sale and like, okay then, and then end the call. Yeah. And then everybody loses out. You lose out because you don't get the sale. And then the person loses out because they don't get the service or the product that they need or want to help them solve the problem they have. Anyway. So hopefully these have all made sense. Have they made sense, guys? I appreciate everybody giving me thumbs up, hearts. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, just give me a yes if this has made sense, what I've shared with you so far. Practice the increasing steps that I've given you, the 11 before, every day. That's how you improve your self-worth. You keep doing them every day, guys. It's not like a one-time event. You work at it, meditate, affirmations, spending time with your family, putting it into your weekly calendar. This is a big one for me. calendar fun, calendar time with your family, calendar time with your friends. You know, I know most of you can't get with friends and family now. It might be Zoom time or a phone call. Put that in your calendar and follow through every week. I'm telling you, life will change. Calendar time to follow up on people, follow up on prospects, follow up on past clients. I'm telling you, it's going to increase your sales. So what effect will this have on your business then? What will this have on your business? So I've just shared, you know, some insights, how to recognize characteristics of low self-worth and then how to change it. So what effect will it have? Here we go. You will know your true worth. You'll stop believing the bullshit story of the negative self-talk that you've believed for so many years. You will accept the value that you bring. I was doing this video. You'll probably see it on my Facebook profile. Actually, I did this 12-minute video. I published it yesterday, and I shared it on how coaches and consultants and business owners can actually calculate their value and their price. Right? I come across so many people who just underprice, undervalue, and they don't know how to calculate. And I'll give you a quick example. So what I demonstrated for one client, we were talking through his pricing and, you know, what he needs to charge and how he can change his mindset from like an employee mindset income earner to a six-figure income earner. And what I went through was, we went through this scenario of a result he achieved in his life, which was a result that you could equate to the value of $250,000, so $250,000. And then what I demonstrated was, that result that he achieved was the very thing that he also teaches and gives as a service to his clients. So therefore, he's bringing $250,000 service to his clients, but he wanted to charge such a really low rate that there was no reason for such a low rate, and it was all to do with self-worth. And what I got him to understand is actually he's bringing $250,000 worth of value to the service, so therefore he had to charge more, which he then understood, right? So accepting your value is massive. Yeah, you will charge your worth and you will ask for more, not to be dominant or aggressive, but because you're worth it. Yeah, like L'Oreal, if you have hair, you know the advert. You will earn your worth, so you'll earn more. Yeah, and you will stop accepting things below your standards and feel good about saying no more, meaning no to when people ask you for a discount, no when you've got opportunities that are going to pull you off track, and just no to things that don't align with your vision and your goals. That's it, guys. And finally, you will feel better for it. I'm telling you. Yeah. So guys, that's it. That's me wrapped up for today. How to increase your self-worth and in turn increase your sales. Yeah. So let's ask Buddha what he thinks. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Yeah. For me, self-worth is about love and affection. It's about passion. You know what passion equals love, right? So go out there. Yeah. Be passionate, deliver with passion, ask for more with passion, sell better and put passion into your sales process. Yeah. Passionate to help your clients do better, and you will earn more. Yeah. Believe me. So anyway, guys, if you do want help growing your business in 2021, simply comment with the word more below this video and I'll reach out to you and share with you how you can earn more. All right then, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm off for the rest of mine. So I hope this sets up the rest of your upcoming week. And you know what? Tomorrow is my birthday. So any well wishes and praises are all welcome, guys. Tomorrow I turn 41. So I'm looking to increase my self-worth, and you guys can remind me if I'm adding any value to your lives. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.